Back with another one. So we got a fun one today. I started on jacking it up, putting it in jack stands. Always put your jack stands in. Stop playing. We're gonna do a long travel kit. So it's gonna be kind of like a custom setup, but I have a good idea how I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna run you through that when we get this all apart, and we'll try to figure some shit out together because I don't know what I'm doing. But it's gonna be over a couple of days, so this is day one. You'll see it in 8 to 10 minutes, but this will be a couple of days for me. All right, that's one side off. Kind of just followed the pinch weld. I gotta trim that side, that bottom cross member right there. But yeah, that was kind of a pain, but it's definitely a lot of weight off of it too. I'll weigh everything too when I'm done. But yeah, so the frame kind of divots right here. So what I'm gonna do is I might plate that, because the bracket I have is gonna sit flat on it. Well, it has to, but we'll see how, when it comes in the mail, I'll mount it up and I'll see what it looks like on there. But I kind of got marks where the new control arms gotta go. So I got 2006 and up, 2-wheel drive control arms. I'll show them in a little bit. But I got tabs that change the geometry of the suspension for like lower trucks. Instead of like it sitting like that, it'll sit like a normal suspension. That's a bad example in my hand, but covered in grease. But yeah, you get the gist. So I'm gonna clean this up and then we'll get to doing the other side. All right, next day. I always forget to start filming. This is like something I kind of want to keep an eye on. But I started cutting, basically following the pinch weld. I'm gonna work my way around. I was trying to get it off in one piece, but I cut that bottom part, so it's not gonna work. So I gotta cut it in 2 pieces, which is not a big deal. Usually cut enough of the weld and you hit it with a hammer, it usually pops. Sometimes you get lucky, but we're gonna do that. And obviously I disassembled it already, but yeah. So let's start. We'll finish cutting this side up, and just like that, cut off. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that part right there. I might box that off, or I might just cut it flush. Honestly, all this factory stuff, the welds look like they were just like thrown on, but it's really not that bad. I got my boy out. Gotta make sure nobody's walking up. You know how pit bulls are. But yeah, I might just clean that up a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and shape this up a little bit better, and I gotta do that the same to the other side too, because yesterday I just lopped everything off like you saw before, and yeah, I might just leave that. Throw a couple welds in there, up there. Honestly, your 4-wheel drive guys probably have the same sort of welds on your cross member. I know this is a little different, but I don't really see many people doing this, so let's clean that up. All right, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I think I might leave this. I'll just clean it up and paint it. Throw a couple welds on there, make it look stronger, but it sucks. It has this little divot right there, but we'll work with that. Once I get those brackets in, we'll see where it sits. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. And not for nothing, the factory stuff is just like I said before, the welds are just like really nothing spectacular. But yeah, guess I'll leave it like that. You'll never see it. I don't feel like adding weight by putting a metal plate on there. I know it's penny pinching, but I think that's gonna be the name of my game. But yeah, I'm gonna clean up and we'll get back to it again tomorrow. Pretty stoked. Do control arms. It's like quite a few days later, but I kind of got everything mocked up. So 06 to, I think it's 06 and up, 2500 control arm for a 2-wheel drive. I got these brackets off Infamous Metal Fab or something like that. They're for like slam trucks, like the 22s, like in the wheel well, like wheel comes through the hood. It's not gonna work, so we're gonna make it work. So basically, I'm gonna set it up like factory. I got it as straight as I possibly can. The alignment's gonna be off. I'm not really worried about that, but I got plenty of adjustment. I got to readjust this one a little bit, and I had it marked up pretty good. So I'm gonna tack it in and do some adjustments and see how that goes. Hopefully this works. I'm pretty stoked about this. It's basically a 97 frame with a 06 upper control arm setup, and then the mounts for the coilovers will go right here. And I'll make 2 more on the bottom, but I gotta set ride height and everything like that. So let me set this up. I'm gonna get this tacked in and just see how it moves, and we'll go from there. There we go. It's more functional than it was. Hold on, let me see. Right now, that's just, hold on, there we go. Everything's kind of loosely in there. So that's like full tuck. That's, I don't even know what the ride height is on that. But we got about, let's say 3 or 4 inches of travel right there now, versus like my 1.5 that I had on the factory setup. So I'm pretty thrilled with that. The stop right now is the ball joints. So I'm gonna look into some extended ball joints, maybe for the uppers, see if I can get it a little bit longer and get a little more better travel out of it. But yeah, this should be roughly ride height. Maybe a little bit lower than that should be ride height. But yeah, let me go get the other side tacked up. Oh, just like that, passenger side's done. Let's see if I get a good angle. So that's all the way up. It's never gonna be that high. But let's see. Or about the top bolts, they're loose. It's gonna move. Yeah, that's a decent amount of travel. Everything's got to get fully welded up. I got to trim the bottoms. I'm gonna take everything back apart and clean it up and fully weld it. I gotta make some little spacers so it doesn't flex. And yeah, I'm gonna get everything fully welded up. I'm actually gonna clean up for today and finish it in the next section. You'll see it in like 1 second. Next day, skipped ahead. I had my buddy come and help me set everything up because I'm not a professional on suspension geometry, so we kind of put 2 heads together, figured it out. It's RW Repairs, Welding and Repairs. He is a good friend of mine. It's a local Long Island. Hit him up. Guy could weld your fucking future back together. But yeah, this is what we got. Tabs all blasted in. We got the coilover mounts in. These things are stout too. This is Atomic Fabrication. I just got 2 tabs. I didn't order the bottom tabs from them. But yeah, it's on a little bit of an angle, but they're perfectly centered. They're straight. Yeah, we're gonna clean it up. Damn. Do some painting. I'll show you the other side too. Came out really good. Buddy killed it. Little Harbor Freight welder too and everything. So them bad boys ain't going nowhere. So let's set it up. I'm gonna paint the frame, clean everything up, and get everything bolted back up. All right, kind of all painted. I'm waiting for the paint to dry. It's a little tacky right now. Then we'll put it back together. Got tabs drying, more tabs. This side, yeah. I literally just painted it, so let it sit for a couple minutes and then I'll get it back together. There we go. There's one side kind of done. I kind of did like a ghetto alignment. I'm gonna change these knuckles back to the factory ones. So I don't know if I'm gonna lock it down completely yet, but that looks freaking sick. The glare is killing me right now, but that's badass. 2nd gen Dodge with a kind of a DIY long travel kit. Hopefully that helps the 60 foots. So let me wrap up that other side real quick. Tied out. All right, let's passenger side. Everything's kind of loosely in there. Like I said before, I'm gonna change the knuckles out. But I'm gonna throw the wheels on and see what the ride height looks like. I tested it roughly, get it up off the jack stand, but I wanna put it on the ground. Even though that's gonna be like 2 steps back, but let's do it. That looks sick though. Hell yeah. First time on the ground, full weight. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Just make sure I don't hit my training cooler. Oh, that's low. Damn, that looks good. That's definitely too low though. Whew, god damn. Alright, let me readjust that. It's much better. Still a little too low, but honestly, this thing got some movement. I'm gonna change those knuckles out, and I'll get 2 more inches from that. So I'll get to that. Maybe not today. I'll finish this up maybe tomorrow. It's too freaking hot out. Alright, but that's it for today. See you back in 1 second. I put the new knuckles in, a little old. So this is factory knuckles. I got the ride height pretty good. So we're gonna leave it at that. So that's my take on a long travel front end for a 2nd gen Dodge. Hopefully it works. So untested, obviously. I drove it up and down the driveway, but I gotta have my boy touch that up a little bit because that's no good. But yeah, other than that, it looks great. Came out sick. RW Welding Repairs. Thanks, bud. All right, guys. Till the next one.